Hello there and welcome to my Rogue Legacy 2 walkthrough video. I've got a number of videos here planned and I'm just ready to kind of get in and start kicking butt with it here. So let's do a quick history lesson on Rogue Legacy. So Rogue Legacy came out, the first one, I think about 10 years ago now. And it sort of reignited what's called the roguelike genre, which is to say a genre where you play as a character and then your character is not meant to really fully beat through the game the first time. So you die, then go back to town, you make some upgrades, then you kind of keep progressing slowly through the story. You're not meant to necessarily play perfectly and you're expected to die a number of times before you can actually beat it. That's sort of my definition of what a roguelike is. And since the first one came out about 10 years ago, now there is a sequel out which just, it was early access for a long time, right? And then I'll kind of wrap up my explanation here and then we'll kick it off. It was early access for quite a while, and it actually released, I want to say April 28th of 2022 this year. And in between that time span, there's been a number of games like Risk of Rain or Enter the Gungeon or I guess Hades probably be the most popular. And these games have really kind of brought this genre up to the forefront where Hades is really like, God, I mean, like it's like best in class at this point. It's so good. And I'm actually really happy to say that while I think Hades does a number of storytelling elements that are much better than Rogue Legacy 2, Rogue Legacy 2 is actually, I would put it relatively on par with Hades. If Hades is like a 9 or a 10 out of 10, like a borderline perfect game, I would say Rogue Legacy 2 here, since the latest patches and all that, probably just slightly under it. So if you're looking for a game to play that's similar to Hades, or you want to get into something a little fun and stupid with some quirky things, I think Rogue Legacy 2 is going to be a great game for you. Okay, let me actually have some notes propped up. Came prepared like a real Giga Chad. Let's see what we got here. Oop, lost my paper. Alright, I did the welcome, I explained the history. Let's go over UI. So pretty simple stuff. You're going to see here right off the bat, you've got your, up at the top left, you got a big green bar. That is, as you guessed it, your health. When that goes to 0, you will flop over dead. And you'll have to start over with a new heir in your legacy. Under that we have mana. I don't have any mana yet, but you use that to cast spells. And then you can see under there we have a icon on the left with X. That's my attack. You go chop, chop, and chopping. You've got a talent. Each one of the classes in the game has a skill or a talent. You start out as a knight and you can block attacks with your shield. The tutorial will sort of explain this a little bit more too. And then finally, B is your spell cast, and you see I have no mana, so I can't actually cast my spell. Finally under that we've got your gold. Up in the top right there is your mini map, and because, yep, you can actually do the full map this early. There you go, and you've got some pretty basic controls. You've got your move around left and right, you're pressing A to jump. So if we just kind of start progressing through the tutorial a little bit here, you just kind of hop around and you're sort of slowly making your way into this castle. And if you're into the story is actually not too bad. You read it from the context of these journals. And so we can see unknown journal here. We've managed to cross the waters undiscovered. A few guard posts patrol the west walls, but we were able to remove them without raising a signal. At sundown, we'll start ascending the wall. Provision should be waiting for us at the top. Signed J. You will see signed J and signed Z quite a bit. Those are sort of characters that you will meet throughout the story. And yeah, so I think we're just going to start crushing through here. This is our first enemy, and the game is then going to teach you about blocking, which if you block at the right time with the shield, you will take no damage. Let's see if I can do it. There you go. If you don't block at the right time, you'll take half damage, I think. That's just kind of a neat quirk about the knight class that you play here. Let's go slap through that door. You can do these, what are called spin kicks. You can spin kick off most enemies in the game. You can also spin kick off these little lanterns and get a little bit higher up. You can even spin kick through walls for some reason. another journal up there for you if you're interested in the story. Let's go and keep going through these portals. Pop on these spikes here. You do a little double aerial recovery, as they call it, after you get slapped in the face. Go and spin kick again. Oops. Pop through the portal. I do recommend playing this with a controller. Let me finish this before I continue the dash. I played the other game with keyboard and mouse. I find it a little bit more difficult, but I'm going to say to each their own. I've actually really enjoyed controller for this. It feels a little more tactile, and I guess I just like joysticks. Alright, so using your dash ability, you can get over little dips in the ground like that. You'll get some upgrades later to make your dash quite a bit better than dash and the portal. Get another journal if you're interested, and at this point we should have some mana. So you can see I can spend 50 mana at the top left there to shoot my fireball. And this is actually going to be something you'll see a lot in this game. See how the wall there is cracked a little bit on the right? That is what's called a trick wall, and that's what the game is explaining to you right now. You can use spells or talents that interact with the environment to break those open. Now, it's a little weird to play a knight here because your talent actually doesn't break it open, so we have to use our spell. And so I'll just step back and shoot fireball. There you go. And you can smack enemies and you can get your mana back. So there, we're back to full. That is pretty much it. You got jumps, you got spin kicks, you get attacks, spells, and abilities. So let's enter the castle here, and then I'm gonna hop through a couple more things. Alright, so in the menu we've got our map. Every time you come into the castle, you're going to start here in Citadel Argtha. I always say Argatha. Argar, whatever. And the map will be procedurally generated every time. There is a way for you to lock it, which we'll figure out later. But for the most part, you can basically assume it's a random environment every time you come in, which makes it kind of fun. Next over we have our stats. You can see on the right we are the knight. The knight has good health, or great health, and mana. And they have an extra 5% weapon critical strike chance. Their weapon can attack while moving, and dash attacks are always skill strikes. So if we were to dash and attack at the same time, you can sort of see how when I swing here it's white, and if I dash it's yellow. That sort of indicates to you that you're going to get a critical strike when you hit there. Alright, shield block, we talked about that. If you do it at the last second, you get 100% damage reduction. It also applies vulnerable to the enemies as a little AoE explosion around you. Any of these terms, there's going to be a lot of terms that hit you off the bat right in the beginning. There's a glossary section of your menu, and I do sort of, I encourage you to actually read through the left-hand side of this. So if we go down here, vulnerable is a status effect on enemies, and every attack against this enemy is a skill crit. So that means if you were to block, let's say, a boss, you would apply vulnerable to them, and then you could just whack the crap out of them for a second or two, however long it lasts. And it's not bad. You got your spell there, it's Fireball, send a fiery blast towards foes, explodes and applies burn. Last ticks of burn are skill crits. This is a theme you're going to see quite a bit. Basically everything in the game has a way for you to critical strike with it in some way. And so it's kind of useful to know a little bit of how your toolkit works, because we're going to play here with this character, but this character is going to die probably within the first 2 videos or so, because you're just kind of weak in the beginning, which means you're going to roll somebody new and they're going to have new skills. You're going to have to learn that. And so you just kind of focus on learning mechanics and how your character plays each time, and you'll be much better suited. Okay, let's do a real quick stat roll off here on the left. We got vitality, that's health. Strength is smack things hard. Dexterity is crit when smacking things. Armor blocks damage. Intelligence makes your spells do womp womp. And focus lets your spells crit. You can see some more detailed stuff at the bottom. There is weight in the game. This lets you wield armor and weapons versus runes, which are other little enhancement things you'll get as well. Okay, moving on real quick. Sorry, this is kind of a lot in the beginning. Then we're just going to go over real quick here. You got your gear. When you equip things, it'll show up here. You got equipment on the left, you got runes on the left, relics on the right. These are things we'll figure out later. This question mark menu I'm skipping over here, that is your quests. You'll get some of those very soon. You've got a glossary that explains how some things work in the game. It's very nice when you're first starting out. And then finally, you've got settings, just normal settings, except for this house rules. You can actually turn these on and adjust the difficulty of the game, such as like enemy health, enemy damage. These are kind of fun. I would suggest not playing with them until you're a little more comfortable with how this stuff works, because the game is, I'm going to say hard. It's challenging, but it is also a very satisfying game as you play through here. So, okay, that's all the boring stuff. We've got a transporter here at the bottom. As you progress through the game, you can use these to portal around. These little blue things are called memories. You will see them. These unlock story elements, and things like that. And then finally here, you've got the golden door. Every time you beat a boss, one of these portraits is going to show up with that portrait. Once you beat all 6, you can go through the portrait and you can fight Mr. Mega Badass Boss. That's how you say final boss. And then that will beat the game, and then you'll be able to progress on with other things. So our walkthrough is going to go through all 6 bosses and then the final boss. It might be more, depends on how things go. So, alright, enough of this shit, let's go. Smack the door open, and get used to smacking lots of things, because you're going to get gold, and gold is very good. As you come in, start to just take note of how enemies use their abilities. So these little fire guys, they're going to shoot 4 fireballs every time they charge up. These little axes, they kind of charge at you like that, and you whack them. They bounce off. The knives, they will electrocute and then charge straight at you. What you want to do is learn how each enemy attacks so that you can be better at avoiding and taking advantage of when they get out of position or whatever. So, excuse me, I'm like burping a shitload. Like these little eyeballs, they're going to charge up and shoot one little blue thing that pierces through walls, so be ready for that one. These spear maidens will charge you with spears. They're more horizontal in nature. And, oh, we actually have our very first thing. So before we do this, let's talk about goals here at the beginning. We're going to progress through this castle, through a bunch of procedural rooms, and we're looking for 2 rooms in particular that have what are called relics in this game. We actually found one right here. They'll have a portal, and then the room will also have this little, oh, I'm sorry, they're heirlooms. They will have the heirloom icon, which you can see from the left side. The heirloom is the orange, and the orange is in the middle of the room on this map. When you find one of those, you're going to want to kind of progress through their, did I get it? Their little mini obstacles if they have one, and then you're going to go to the top and talk to, I don't even know what to call this thing, but you're just going to talk to it. He says, boy oh boy, look what we have here. Another soul come to roost seeking my power. So what you'll kind of see here is that they tend to be assholes, honestly. So, well, tell me something, kiddo. I see all beyond lies, beyond ego, beyond time. I see the apex of emotion where truth is laid bare. And you know what I see when I look at you? See a scared little soul with snot coming out your nose and poop coming out your butt. Kiddo, if you're this ugly on the outside, then what's it like on the inside? And I'm not going to read through all this, but you get the idea. They're going to be snarky and condescending. I think the other one calls you pudgy. So this will be really fun. These are trials. So you're going to go through in this kind of like alternate dimension area, and you're going to have to progress through a few obstacles. And so the game will sort of tell you what to do here. A right bumper to attune with memory fragments. And then here we can actually start to listen to memories. And so it says, he who gives you only 2 choices always hides a third. This one is kind of embarrassing. It took me a number of tries to sort of figure out. what is going on. So if you try to just go down through here, right, like I did there, you hit the side, teleports you back up, try it over here, hit the side, which then eventually you'll kind of figure out of, oh, I can just drop down right in the middle. There we go. Same thing, just gonna kind of hop around through the obstacles, read the memory. This one is going to tell you to jump and spin kick off of the little spinning things here. I forget what they're called, chains or maces, whatever. But we're just gonna spin kick off those and get used to spin kicking. You're gonna do it a lot in this game, and I'm actually gonna kind of, yeah, there we go. Spin kick is super useful. You can spin kick off enemies to avoid damage. You can spin kick to higher areas in the game, all kinds of cool stuff. This memory tells us there is a nightmare ahead. And something else you'll notice, all the text will highlight in a different color, something that's important for you to pay attention to. So nightmare being like a keyword here, and violence begets violence. Basically what it's saying is if I attack or do any kind of like damaging type thing, that little red doodad up there is going to shoot something at me, just like that. You can actually spin kick off them, which is kind of fun. Oh, no. Maybe not yet. Maybe you get that later. But smack that door, dodge. Here you can just smack and keep running. Spin kick up. Keep on running down. Jump over that. This one says, one who can accomplish with kindness. Accomplish with kindness what one cannot by force. So it's saying you can actually right bumper the nightmare and get it to go away, giving you free reign to smack the crap out of stuff. Nice little bonus here. Go and dash over there. And here we're gonna take off the nightmare, smack a skeleton, take off the nightmare, smack a skeleton, fireball, whack. Here we actually can't get the nightmare, but we can use the environment to our advantage. Every time you jump off one of these wood platforms, it goes away and then the skeletons just fall. We'll do the same thing here. And we're going to kill all of these guys at once as well. So, kind of fun little trial. It teaches you how to use the item that you're about to get to use in the actual game. There will be a number of times where you need to actually use memories to kind of learn something. They're sort of like I forget the carvings with the chalk in Dark Souls, I think. I forget what they're actually called. Go ahead and run to the top here, and that's it. You've got your first heirloom. Bum-ba-da-bum. Sometimes it pays to have an emotional connection with your enemy. I know who you'll be tussling with. You should know too. Enough chatter, yada yada yada. You received the power of empathy. Not a bad power to have. Take a little drink here. So now you can read memories and calm nightmares. I don't believe this is technically required for the game, but you're going to have to know what to do if you don't have it, which if it's your first time playing through, you're not going to know. So let's just hop back in the castle and get back to killing stuff. Ooh. Yeah. Oh no, saw that one coming. Definitely, I think that the piece of advice I would give you the first time through, and really for a while, is try to work on just avoiding and surviving. There are a lot of different ways to earn gold in this game, but until you're really good at sort of surviving and dodging enemy attacks and knowing kind of how to progress through different areas, you're going to have trouble even with like good gold find, and so probably just surviving is your best way to earn gold. We've got a little journal here. I'm not going to go through these, but this is definitely, every time you come into a castle area of the game, you're going to find journals. I highly recommend reading them. Lots of cool kind of lore, and they will actually help make bosses easier for you later. At least I think that's journals, might be memories. There are memories that you can read from bosses. The bosses kind of leave memories around. And once you get a certain amount of them, they will actually teach you, not teach you, they will give you a quest. And the quest will give you like 15% bonus on that boss in damage. So we found a chest, and inside that chest was a weapon. And we picked up a bunch of ore or stone, whatever we want to call it. I think it's ore. Anyway, armor and weapons are probably the best way you're going to have to unlock big power gains right away. But you're not actually going to be able to buy them until we upgrade our castle a little bit, which you'll see after you have died one time. Just going to leave that guy alone. Oof, that's kind of a lot. There's a commander. Commanders are special enemies with big buffs, like special unique buffs, and those... Whoops. Did I? Oh, those fucking roots. I missed. These roots here, you'll find them all over the castle. You just whack them, they go away, but they will respawn when you come back in the room. And honestly, that will cause a lot of just random damage to you over time, because you will not remember where they are, and then you will charge forward blindly, and you get whacked. So this is a really unique position. Oh my god, there's a lot of shit. Where just play it really slow. Kind of try to draw one enemy out at a time. Hit them with a fireball. See a good opportunity to charge in. There we go. Here's the bad boy. So he's spitting fireballs, and these little purple waves. Those purple waves can actually be destroyed later, but right now we can't. We just have to avoid them. But we got him. Play it slow, play it easy, you'll get it. Ooh, we have a curio shop. You'll find these occasionally. They allow you to change either your blessing of strength, which is your weapon, your blessing of wisdom, which is your magic, and I forget what the other one is, your talent. But you can, this one will allow me to, you'll get the pirate weapon. Pirate's a class you'll find later. It allows you to swing your cannon and then hold it to shoot a cannonball. I actually really hate this weapon, but feel free to try stuff out your time through. Here we've got a memory. We can actually read these now. And in each area, you'll be able to read the memories of the boss you'll find. And these are actually pretty funny. This guy's kind of a dick to people. He's a badass, but like a fucking dick. And if you get all of his memories, you'll find out where to go to find a weakness for him, giving you that damage buff on the boss. It'll take a number of tries through the castle. You get only a couple per run at most. I think it's usually one. And then let's see, what do we get? Leather chest. Pick up the ore that comes out of it too. You'll start to find the leather set first, and then a few more. But anyway, the memories. Oops, almost got hit by the roots. The memory you will find at least one a run if you look around for it. So it'll take you like 6 to 8 runs, I think, before you kind of figure out the quest to find like the secret hideout or the secret weakness, which will actually help. The first boss is not too bad. The second boss is actually easier in my opinion. But once you get past that, I personally think that the bosses are quite hard for your first playthrough. Let's see, we've got some shops here. Well, this is a good time to explain Resolve. Up above your health, you're going to see a little fire and then a percentage number. Mine is 225 at the moment. That number is calculated based off your Resolve stat that you can upgrade, but also how much gear you're wearing, thus weighing you down. So if I were to pick up this twin boxing bell, it would cost me 90 resolve, which seems fine. I have 225, and it is, but if you go under 100, you will actually start to lose maximum health, which starts to become a problem, and it's percentage too. So if you're at 50%, you're actually at 50% health because you're 50% under 100, if that makes sense. We actually get 2. You won't know what these do the first time. It'll just be question marks. So that's kind of a lot of the game is sort of exploring in the beginning, but I'm pretty sure I don't even know how to say that. This one, I'm pretty sure, converts gold. You don't find gold, and it instead gives you experience, which seems totally useless right now, because I actually want a lot of gold. And this twin boxing bell, we'll just get it and check it out. Epic relic, your weapon applies combo, and so here we have to go to the glossary and go, what is combo? There's combo. Every stack increases damage by 2% at 15 plus. All weapon attacks are skill crits. So, there you go, not bad. Makes sense. You whack an enemy a bunch. You get 4. Oh, that's actually pretty good. I'm already up to 12. And then it goes away after a little bit, which, whatever. That'll actually be nice against the boss, I think. Speaking of which, we found the boss. Got a leather cape. And there we go. So, every boss room has a portal. This allows you to teleport around to the areas in the castle you've explored. But unfortunately, this boss, the throne room door is currently sealed, and if you have the memory, you can, memory, power of empathy, you can read this memory over here, and it says, I don't know how he does it, but I keep losing Lamech's trail. If we want to leave this island, we'll have to enter his throne room. Only his royal retinue, I don't know, can open them, but I have seen... only his royal can open, but I have seen how they do it. Oh, there are 2 torches beside the door. Both torches must be lit with a strike of the foot to open the doors. Okay, so obviously, realistically speaking, that's a really stupid way to open a door. But since we're in a game where we actually have spin kicks, we could theoretically spin kick them both, but we need another power that lets us dash in the air first. That's the other heirloom. This little red door over here is actually going to be the second area of the game. I'm going to go pop into it real quick. Because, Axis Mundi, if you break these boxes down here, you can often get a little turkey leg, which I didn't, for health. Oh well. Too bad. Alright, let's consult the map. Looks like I need to go down in that area a little bit. Alrighty. Yeah, so like I said before, the map is procedurally generated, so you're not really... You'll start to notice patterns, but you'll never really know the right direction to go, per se. There are a few things you can use to give you hints, but not too much. Ooh. Ow! Didn't mean to do that. Guy's pissing me off down here. Got 2 turkey legs though. It's nice. There aren't going to be a lot of ways for you to get health back as you're going through, so honestly the best thing you can do is just avoid damage whenever possible. Oh my god, that guy is fucking fast. Oh. Got him. Let's go get this treasure chest. These silver chests usually have ore in them. That's why you keep seeing ore pop out. Ore is what you'll use to buy and upgrade your equipment. There's another resource in the game called Aether, I think? Red Aether. It looks like blood tears, basically. And that is used to... Oh, I can't do what I want to do. Jesus. The red Aether is used to upgrade your runes, to buy and upgrade runes. Which are basically like equipment, just magical, I guess. Let me get him. Got him. What do we get here? Ooh. This room, you can see in the middle, it has a fairy chest symbol. And it's the little wings around the chest. These are ways for you to get runes. So if you complete this with the requirements listed at the bottom right, you will get a rune. And this one is actually... I don't even know if I can easily get it without the dash, but it's a puzzle challenge. You can't jump, and you must destroy all targets. Let's see what that looks like. So I have to destroy those 2 targets. And then over here, I'd have to destroy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Break that thing above the chest, and then I could get the chest. So you see this becomes pretty complicated. I don't know if I can actually do this right now, but if we spin kick, teleport, we're here. So then you could spin kick this one under me, spin kick that one, but then I think I'm dead because I can't dash. You're supposed to like dash over, then spin kick the middle one, spin kick the top one, keep spin kicking, but ow. Now I have to jump. Fuck. Alright, whatever. Don't worry about them. They're really not that important. You can always get them later. There are also much easier fairy chests than those puzzles anyways. Alright, let's keep going down. Oh, jeez. Almost jumped on that. Like this one. So this is a big arena, and it just says defeat all enemies. Well, that's pretty easy. It's a hell of a lot easier than the other one. Oh. 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 Nope. Okay. Ooh, look at that combo. Look at that. Wait for this guy to do his charge. Whack, bam. No, he's already dead. Okay. Then hop over and get your rune. What do we get? Might rune. Crush your enemies, increases weapon critical strike damage. Not bad. And then you get a bunch of little aether, red aether. Let's keep going. Come on. There we go. Finally. Alright. This should be our air dash rune. Who hasn't stumbled into my abode? Hast thou lost thine way? Those who seek me are hard and powerful warriors, but you, dear child, thouest art soft and pudgy. Very pudgy. These dudes are dicks, but they do have very powerful heirlooms, so we need to get them, I suppose. In this one, you can dash in the air. So you can actually jump and then dash. Choosh. Pretty straightforward. There we go. Wow. Just keep on dashing to the right on that one, and then we're gonna hop down here, dash, dash, dash. We're gonna kill these 2 eyeballs. We're gonna dash over, kill them skeletons, dash over, get whacked in the face, whatever. Jump. Jump, jump, jump. There we go. Dash. Now, one of these is a little tricky. Let me see if I can figure out that one. There we go. And then jump, spin kick. Oops. Oh my god, it teleported me back. Oh. There we go. Got it. And then I think you just kind of fall down. There we go, yep. Keep moving along. And you got it, congratulations. You now have the power of momentum. You can dash in the air. Well, that's handy. Alright. So, right now, we would just port back to the throne room. We could fight the boss. But I need to teach you one thing before we do that. See this little green aura light coming down here? This means it's a new area of the castle. This is actually, you can see, Pishon Dy Lake, risk level 6. Do not come here. This is the final area in the game. It will kick the ever-living shit out of you, even though it's connected to level 1 here. And one of the reasons why I actually want to clarify this a little more is because if I were to break that second one and go down, you actually can't get back up. You fall down like 200, 300 feet or something, and you will not be able to get up until you die, which is kind of sad. So don't go down there. I guess until you're ready. The other reason you shouldn't go down there is because the area of the game requires an item for you to be able to see. And so you're just literally be blind and you'll just get pummeled in the dark and go home crying. It's real sad. Okay, let's jump, spin kick, dash, spin kick, and now we can fight the boss. There you go. Oh yeah, we have quests now, sorry. You can find your quests in the menu. We just unlocked Lamech's throne room. This is boss number 1. Quick little lesson about bosses in this game. Don't expect to beat them the first time. They're actually quite hard in most cases. And expect them to have different mechanics about halfway through the fight. Usually the bosses will change things up on you halfway or something like that. So there's kind of a... What we're going to do is just focus on learning the boss. We're not going to try to beat it because we haven't even upgraded our castle yet. We're still really weak. So just pay attention to the abilities and I'll kind of teach you how to dodge them. Meet Estuary Lamech. He's a badass if you can't tell from the mountain of bodies in the back of the room there. When he brings the big sword, he does 2 strikes. With that on the bottom, here's his staff attack. You just would dodge those like that. There's a charge with a spear. His jump, and then molten boulders come out. Oh, there you go. Sometimes you have to go over him. The daggers. That's probably the one that hits me the most, honestly, because it's kind of hard to pay attention to. And then he's got one more ability. This one right here. This is the best one because you can just sit there right in the middle. Oh. If you ever get caught, use your block ability. It'll at least block some damage if you don't time it perfectly, but honestly, he's a decently hard fight because you really can't take many hits. And although he's not like that difficult from a mechanical standpoint, here's phase number 2. Just back up from here. These fireballs, get those to hit into the wall if you can. Yeah, I really fucked that up. I took a lot of damage. Oh, oh no! There you go. A little hard to fight him without upgrades and explain things, but you get the idea. When you die, Lady Alex has been slain by Estuary Lamech. It is sad. The game will just sort of show you your progress. Every room you went into, the enemies you killed, things like that. And it's kind of fun. A nice little reminder of all the things that you did and where you went. And there's a little tip there at the bottom left. Red Aether can be found in fairy chests. The deeper into the kingdom you go, the more Aether will be rewarded. And so we got 2,000 gold, 400-ish, and 200 red Aether. So not bad. And I think that's actually going to wrap it up here for video 1. That was a decent amount of time. We explained a lot. And in video 2, we're going to walk through upgrading the castle, and we're actually going to try to knock down Lamech and move on to level 2, if you will. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was helpful. And I will catch you guys in the next one.